Shayestoners, I am back with a new video. So first off, shout out to Shane Dawson for inspiring me to make my own conspiracy theory videos. Also, some of you guys wanted me to start making them since my channel is based off of a scary kind of theme, and I would also like to announce I have a history account on Instagram. You should follow it if you like freaky shit like me. That link will be down below. Now let's get into the video and start talking about one of the biggest stars in the world, Michael Jackson. Jackson was born on August 26th in Gary, Indiana. In 1964, he joined his brothers and the Jackson 5.
Jackson 5.
Oh, baby, I'm a rockin' my brain to think of a name to get it.
And in 1982, he teamed up with Quincy Jones to release Off the Wall, his first album with Epic, and his first solo album as an adult recording artist. Then in 1982, Thriller was released, an album which would eventually become the world's best-selling album of all time. Then in 1991, Jackson signs a huge recording contract with Sony Music, and his career was thriving until 4 years later in 1994 comes along a 13-year-old boy by the name of Jordan Chandler who had claimed Jackson sexually abused him during a visit to Michael's ranch. In the same year, Jackson announced he had become addicted to painkillers and abruptly canceled a world tour. Jackson then reached a settlement with Chandler's family in 1994. He then gets married twice, and both times he divorces. Now, people claim Jackson getting married was a publicity stunt to hide the fact he was gay and to clear up all these allegations against him. In 2003, he tells interview Matin, bashir, sharing a bed with a young boy is a beautiful thing.
What is your response to the allegations that were brought by the district attorney in Santa Barbara that you molested this boy?
Totally false. Before I would hurt a child, I would slit my wrists. I would never hurt a child. These are totally false. I was outraged. I could never do something like that.
This is a kid you knew?
Yes.
How would you characterize your relationship with this boy?
I've helped many, many, many children, thousands of children. Cancer kids, leukemia kids. This is one of many. You
said in that documentary that many children have slept in your bedroom. You said,
yes.
and I'm going to quote here, why can't you share your bed? The most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone.
Yes.
As we sit here today, do you still think that it's acceptable to share your bed with children?
Of course. Of course, why not? If you're going to be a pedophile, if you're going to be Jack the Ripper, if you're going to be a murderer, it's not a good idea. That I'm not. That's how we were raised. And I didn't sleep in the bed with the child. Even if I did, it's okay. I slept on the floor. I gave the bed to the child.
And the documentary revealed that Jackson still had sleepovers with young boys and that his third baby was the child of a surrogate mother. In 2005, he is acquitted of sexually molesting a 12-year-old Gavin Arvizo, but his career and finances are in tatters. March 2009, tickets for 50 concerts at London's O2 Arena sell out within hours after Jackson and music promoter AEG Live announced a surprise comeback for the singer. Jackson, who had been rehearsing in LA, had been due to start concerts on July 13th, but suddenly on June 25th, 2009, Jackson goes into cardiac arrest and died at the age of 50. So the whole thing with Jackson and the allegations with the young boys is a very controversial topic. But let's take a look back at his tragic childhood. Father Joe Jackson was so fixated on producing a successful brand that he would go to the extreme lengths to secure it. He would beat his children if they missed a step, missed a note, or simply not performing well that day. Michael's father liked to use a belt and other objects that would inflict pain on his children. A flight attendant who barely knew the Jackson family claimed she saw the wrongdoings of their father, Joe, and said, whatever problems Michael had later in his life, the responsibility was at his father's feet. Michael was one of the biggest child stars of his time, but he was not a happy child. And by the time he was 9, he had no time to be a kid and barely had a childhood. Now, to tie in with the allegations against Michael and his weird behavior with children, we need to look at his childhood that he lost. So the press alleged that he was doing inappropriate things with children, and people judged Michael because he always acted childish when he grew up, but he was trying to make up for the time that he lost. He always loved children because he simply saw purity and innocence in them, and Michael also changed his face because his father called him ugly every single day, and Michael was dealing with a skin pigment disease called vitiligo, which turned his skin white. It's also claimed that he hung out with kids because he never got to play with other kids when he was young. Now, let's take a look back at Jordan Chandler, who sparked this whole allegation against Michael Jackson's pedophilia scandal. So, the original lawsuit against Michael was made by Jordan's father, Evan Chandler, and the family ended up getting $20 million in and out of court settlement. Now, the weird thing is, Evan committed suicide on November 5th, 2009, 4 months and 11 days after the death of Michael Jackson. Then the world hunted for the $20 million kid, Jordan Chandler, who then vanished without a trace, aged 37, in 2016 after winning the $16 million settlement. Then Gavin Arvizo also accused Michael of sexual misconduct and went to trial. But Michael was not found guilty due to Arvizo's testimony being suspicious and smirking during his testimony when accusing of Michael kissing him on the lips. Now, this is just a conspiracy, and I'm not stating it as a fact. If all that stuff did happen to those kids, I'm sorry to the family and the children. If it all was for a lie and for the money, that's wrong, and screw them all. But what if those two accusations were just in it for the money? Think about it. You know the biggest star on the planet, and visit him all the time and stop talking. And you need a quick penny. It all adds up. Also, if you were sexually abused and molested, you would not be asking for money. Like Wade Robinson asked for money from the Michael estate after accusing Michael Jackson of abuse. Instead, you would be fighting for justice and not asking for all the money, then flee with it to New York like Jordan Chandler did. Another thing to support this theory about Michael not being a predator would be the Home Alone kid, I don't know how to say his name, MaCcaulay Culkin, who was one of Michael's best friends.
We have to cover it, so let's ask about it. What's the relationship that you had with Michael Jackson?
Had or have? I mean, it's kind of,
both.
You know, whatever.
Let's go with had.
Listen, he's a good friend of mine, and he still is. I mean, everything that's going on, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate situation for everyone to mention something, and then he calls me up kind of out of the blue, and it's kind of just this weird random thing, and he was like, why don't you come over to my house?
What happened at the house? That's what all these things that people are concerned about.
That's what's so weird, you know.
What did happen?
Nothing happened, you know. I mean, nothing really. I mean, we played video games, you know. We played it at his amusement park. Well, the thing is with that whole thing is that, you know, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories. And it has like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario. And the thing is with Michael is that he's not very good at explaining himself, and he never really has been, because he's not a very social person. I mean, you're talking about someone who's been sheltered and sheltering himself also. When he says something like that, you know, people, you know, he doesn't quite understand why people react the way that they do.
Why do you think he likes young people so
It's because the same reason why he liked me was the fact that I didn't care who he was. That was the thing. I talked to him like he was a normal human being, and that's what and kids do that to him, because he's not, I mean, he's Michael Jackson, the pop singer, but he's not the god of, you know, the king of pop or anything like that. He's just, you know, a guy who's actually very kid-like himself and wants to go out there and wants to play video games.
Now let's get into theories surrounding Michael's death. And let me tell you, they are extremely chilling. In 2017, Paris Jackson, while talking to the Rolling Stone magazine, alleged that her father had been murdered. Some indicated that she was pointing to a group called the Illuminati. According to websites, an alleged federal agent came forward in 2015 to expose one of Jackson's final phone calls that Michael was already aware of, a pipe being hitched for his murder by federal agents, and the fact that the Sun had also reported a shocking note allegedly written by Jackson just weeks before his death. The note read, "They are trying to murder me." The note further said that he was scared about his life and the system wants to kill me for my catalog. On the other hand, Jackson's sister LaToya Jackson indicated that Jackson was killed by business interests in order to profit from his estate. And then it is mentioned that LaToya was repeatedly told by Michael that he was going to be killed for his estate. Now here is the phone call so you guys can hear it for yourself.
Michael. I don't know if I should tell you this, but I don't know who may be listening. There may be a group of people that want to get rid of me. They don't want me here anymore.
I don't understand. What do you mean? Talk to me.
I can't talk about it over the phone. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel in my soul, only God knows, they could shoot me. They could stab me. They could frame me and say I overdosed you with drugs. They can do a lot of things.
Who could do these things?
It's not the government. It's more than the government. But I don't know, Dieter. I don't care. They can kill me. I don't even care my life anymore. I just want my children to be okay. My angels. I want them to be safe.
Michael.
I gotta go.
Yikes! That is so creepy. Another conspiracy was he was killed by a drug overdose. The county coroner stated that Michael died from a combination of drugs in his body, with the most significant drugs being the, I don't know how to say this, anesthetic propofol and the analgesic lorazepam. Prosecutors following this line of evidence argued that Michael's physician should be held responsible for Michael's death, because he lacked justification and expertise for giving this powerful of a drug to a client. But Paris Jackson believes more than that, according to the note and the phone call that I showed you. Now our last conspiracy theory, Michael Jackson faking his own death. Now this sounds crazy because if you look up celebrity post-mortem photos, it clearly shows Michael Jackson's autopsy, but let's continue. What went down? Michael Jackson was pronounced dead on June 25th, 2009 at the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center in California. The drug dosage in his bloodstream was so great that his personal physician, Conrad Murray, was sent to jail for a 2-year prison sentence. Now to the theories. A YouTuber and documentary filmmaker named Pearl Jr. had released multiple videos insisting Michael is not dead and has done surprisingly intensive research into Michael Jackson's death. He believes Michael's body could have been fake with a waxwork and that Michael switched out the body hospital photos because they look like a cancer hospice patient and not like Michael. In addition, she thinks that the body lift and out of the helicopter rescue looked like a surfboard and not a body. A Michael Jackson conspiracy theory channel posted a video interpreting Paris Jackson's latest Instagram as a sighting of Michael. He claims to see Michael's face in a recognizable fedora and a pile of clothes on the backseat of Paris's car. Yet another YouTuber to weigh in on the Michael Jackson controversy is Acid Hunk, who claims Michael Jackson bumped into him on the way back from a late night trip to the vending machine.
I was staying at the hotel and it was just me. I had my own room to myself and I got hungry. I walked down to the vending machine to buy a little carton of milk. I forgot to tell you guys, this was around almost 4 a.m. It was pretty late in the morning. So I walked to the vending machine. It's just everyone in the hotel was like sleeping. No one really was out. It was kind of dead silent. Where all the elevators are. So the elevators are right here and then the vending machines are right here. And I heard the elevator door ding in a milk and I started heading back to my room. But the person that was coming out of the elevator came out after me, so I didn't get to see who it was that came out of the elevator. I heard them kind of start to pick up speed, and I heard their footsteps go a little fast. And all of a sudden, one of them accidentally bumped into me, and he was just like, sorry. And immediately in that moment right there where he said sorry to me, I recognized the voice. I could recognize that voice anywhere. He thought of Michael Jackson. Structure, like it just, the voice, the body, it all came together and it all added up.
Before we go, I want to show you a video of Larry King capturing the ghost of Michael Jackson just 5 months after his death.
Inside Michael Jackson's bedroom suite with Miko Brando, our tour guide here, and you're looking at the doors and you can see the locks on the doors. Miko, privacy was key in this room, obviously.
Yeah, he left his privacy. When the doors were open, it was okay, but when it locked, he wanted his privacy. He had his privacy.
This is one of the bathrooms.
Go and have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and turn on my post notifications. And see you next time.